and welcome to Modelling Misadventures. Now it's been a while since I've had a crack at this, but I'm going to be back on the Morris Marina van. Now last time I got this bodywork finished and painted and looking pretty good, nothing underneath yet. I've had a rethink. I said last time that I was happy with these hinges, but I'm not. So I'm going to have a go at trying to rework those, see if I can get those a bit better. And then I'm going to try and design, print and put the bottom on. Look at this mess here. That's a failure, isn't it? That's coming off. Total redesign this. That looks good, doesn't it? That's both sides done. And you see how it's going to work. Miserable day today, pouring with rain. Now I'm going to make the new hinges for this car out of aluminium tubing and some rod. And there's actually loads of videos on YouTube showing you how to make this from the small model car makers. They use these, so I'm going to have a crack at that. Right, we're going to bend this wire. First of all, 90-degree bend. And now we're going to bend a curve in it. Like that. And we've got to bend it out this way. So you end up with a piece like that, and then we need to cut it off. Voila. So I've made 4 of these, and they fit in the tube like this. And that then is meant to be the hinge. Right, I'm going to epoxy these hinges in. I hope this works because there's no going back. I'm going to take this door on to make sure it's properly aligned. And I'm going to glue those rods in those slits. Bit of super glue first. Don't even know if this is going to open. Right, I thought this might happen. It's binding here. So I'm going to have to trim that bit down, I think. Total fail. Back to the drawing board. Well, I finally got it working about 2 hours later. Been on and off like a yo-yo. But anyway, got one side done. Going to need to touch this up. The problem is it was just too tight along this front and I had to reposition it nearer to the outside. But anyway, better than it was originally. Look at the state of it on the inside. Well, this is the 1 step forward, 2 steps back approach to modelling, but I've got now to where I wanted to be. These doors are opening properly on both sides. I had to do a bit of work on the bonnet to get that to open smoothly. The back door's open now, so been a bit of an ordeal getting these hinges working. Now this is going to need a bit of touching up, but before I do that, I'm going to try and put a little hole in here for a door handle. So I've printed out a little template. I put that on there and I know where to drill it out. Okay, well that's done. Now it's time to touch up this. So more filling and sanding. Anyway, it's filled and going to give it another coat of paint. Well, I finally got this back to where I was at the end of the last video, which is with the bodywork painted, only this time better hinges. So that was definitely worth it. So now I'm going to turn my attention to the bottom. Now I'm not going to go overboard on this bottom, but I do want it to look a little bit like this photograph here. So I've been busy on Fusion 360 and I've printed some parts. So this is going to go underneath at the front. This is going to go underneath in the middle. And this is going to go at the back. And if you look at the writing there, you'll see that this is, when it's finished, going to be a gigantic dinky toy, but one that they never actually made. Right, just glue this on here. Nice fit. I just want to make sure I get this front bit level. Now I want this bit to be removable so that I can get to the inside. So I'm going to screw this on. Well, there we are. Doesn't look too bad. Dinky toy. So now I've got that done. Time for some wheels. So to make this tyre in Fusion 360, I had to do a little bit of research on YouTube, and the video that I found most helpful was this one, which showed you how to model a tyre and a wheel. And I followed this pretty closely to make something that would look like a Marina van wheel. And I'm just going to show you an animation of that design process. And you'll see how the wheel is created using the sketch and rotation functions. And you can keep adding details on, even to get into the treads. Now if I turn this around, you can see what it looks like from the other side as the design is coming along, and this will show the outside of the wheel and just some of the details going on, and the various functions of Fusion 360 actually make this quite straightforward once you've got the hang of it. So I finished up with this, and that's the inside, that's the outside. Now I was able to export this as a file that can then be read by my 3D printer, and I was able to print the wheels and the tyres separately. Look at these beauties. Well, these have come out pretty well. So just going to go and give these a spray of silver paint. Now these are my 4 wheels. Don't look too bad, do they? Now to print these tyres, I'm using this special TPU filament. You can see how flexible it is. And there's the tyre being printed. I've put this masking tape down because the first time I tried it, it stuck so hard to the plate I could hardly get it off. So anyway, that seems to work, and that tyre's printing nicely. So this is how these tyres have come out. I've printed them in halves. They're going to need a bit of cleaning up, but you can see they are quite rubbery, which is really good from a 3D printer. And then I'll be gluing them together like that. So this is what the tyres look like before and after cleaning up. Not bad. Okay, let's put them together. So I've got my wheel and tyres done, and now I need some axles, and I'm going to use some of this threaded rod here and an aluminium tube for the axle. And I've 3D printed the axle supports. These things meant to look a little bit like leaf springs, obviously not very accurate, but they'll do. This looks all right, doesn't it? Well, there we have it. Finally got the wheels on. So looking pretty good. The bonnet on, opening and closing. The doors. You see inside. And the wheels on the bottom. Really happy with how that's coming along. So I think I'll leave it there for this video. Still got plenty more to do. Got to do the inside of the cab. Might have a bit of a go at an engine, front grille and bumper bar. But for now, that's it. I'll say goodbye. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Modelling Misadventures.